Welcome back to Good Morning San Diego. Last year, more than 1 million cars were stolen nationwide. That's more than ever before. And our next guest usually is here to talk with us about the housing crisis. But recently, he faced a different type of crisis. Joining us now to discuss how he became a victim of the theft is real estate agent Jim Bottrell. Jim, good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Wish it was under better circumstances.
Me too.
So this is I'm going to just step back and let you tell everybody the story, and then we'll.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's not about a truck. I mean, the truck can be as a thing; it can be replaced. But this is a much bigger issue. So the story is, I fly back from vacation with my family, my wife, my 2 little girls. We're in Florida. We come back Tuesday night. Flight lands about 8 o'clock. So we get to the parking structure with all of our bags and everything, and we get to the parking spot because I always take a picture of my vehicle when I leave because it helps you find it. Yeah. So it had space and everything, and there's no truck there. There was a little Ford Explorer or something like that in there. I'm like, well, where's the truck? And so I pulled up, I had an AirTag hidden in it, so I pulled on my phone and I look at the AirTag and it shows it's in a residential area. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So then I expand it in Tijuana. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me, right? Then we notice all the glasses on the ground. So my kids, my daughters 6 and 9, were absolutely inconsolable. Because I'm thinking the violation of that they witnessed this. This is them seeing, the way the world thought to be the safe structure or the safety of the world, right. And now there's not that. And absolutely inconsolable. The 9-year-old Haley was just crying, and she goes, "I know how hard you work for that truck, Dad." And she brings me her piggy bank later on. I mean, yeah, it's very sweet. I'm like, yeah. Thank you. We're not going to use it. But anyway, I obviously called the Harbor Police. The police officer was a great guy. I won't use his name, a fantastic guy, former Navy. And one of the first things, oh yeah, there's a picture of the truck, my baby. So one of the first things he does, he says, okay, Jim, you have an alarm system on your house, you have cameras in your house. And I say, yeah, I have both. Why? And he says, they have your garage door opener and your address. He says, they're getting your address off your registration, and they've got your garage door opener. And I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. All right, so I look at all that. Fortunately, they didn't go north. They went straight south into Mexico with a truck. He said this has been happening a lot. So they've been stealing a lot of cars out of the San Diego airport, so don't do that. Why they're choosing the airport is because they know you're gone. You're not going to be there to report your vehicle stolen. You don't know. If it's stolen in front of your house, worst case, in the morning, you find out it's gone. Right. You're going to be gone for days. So as I find out, they already had a report on my truck from 30 hours prior, which would be Monday at 3 p.m. Broad daylight, that truck crashed the gate. So Ace Parking files a report, just somebody didn't pay, files that with the Harbor Police. So they already had a report on it, so now we're reporting it stolen. We did get in touch with a CHP border liaison, another phenomenal organization. If you can't tell, I'm very pro law enforcement. Yeah. Phenomenal organization, talking to the gentleman. He says, we'll go get your truck. You know where it is. And I had the AirTag still showing the address. And I said, here's the address in Tijuana, where it's at. They didn't even park in the garage, it's in the street. So it was real time, me talking them into Mexico, telling them exactly where the truck was, except for it was just the AirTag.
Okay, now, I think what's really noteworthy here is talk to us real quickly, take us through the system of taking your truck. There's the breaking of the window, there's the sound of the alarm, there's the raising of the hood, all of that.
And this is where I'm very upset with San Diego Ace Parking, the parking structure of the airport. Because broad daylight, somebody broke the window out, as evidenced by all the glass on the ground. All right, so that's going to set off the alarm. So then they have to get inside, pop the hood, disconnect the alarm. Then they disconnected the U-Connect. Now it's a newer truck, so it has a key fob on it. Now they have to clone a key fob. All right, so they have to go through all of that, broad daylight, Monday at 3 o'clock, and there's no security. Now that parking structure brings in $300,000 a day in revenue, yet there's no security. All right, now we have a much bigger issue. Truck is just a thing, right? I can replace that. But now you have somebody who has, this airport authority knows that vehicle crashed the gate. Right, so they know that vehicle is probably stolen. And all they did is they sent a report over to the Harbor Police saying somebody didn't pay. Right, nobody called me. And this is where the things really have to change. They now know a vehicle is probably stolen because this is happening a lot there now. Yet they're not doing anything about it. They need to make a phone call to, the police department needs to look up the license plate number and say, this is the family. We need to call the family. Are you in possession of that vehicle right now? Because think about this. I'm on business trips all the time, right? My wife and 2 daughters are at home by themselves. And now somebody takes my truck that has my address in it and my garage door opener in it, and they have free access to my house where my wife and 2 little girls are at, and I'm not even there to defend them. And they have the knowledge. And that's why I talked to the airport authority about this, and they were not nice. In fact, they yelled at me and then hung up on me. I talked to the VP of Ace Parking, and I even used the scenario with him. I said, dude, this is a bigger issue. This isn't about a truck. This is about people's safety. And again, he didn't care. He says, we did what we were supposed to do. We reported that nobody paid. And nobody cares. And so this is where the compelling has to change. There has to be a reasonable amount of security for the $300,000 a day. They have to put security in there. And then if somebody runs that gate, and they need to file that report immediately, and the police department or whoever needs to call the owner of that vehicle and say, are you in possession of that? Are you aware that somebody has access to your house and your address right now?
What strikes me as you tell this story is that we've all parked in these type of lots before.
Yeah.
And I guess they think, or they know, as we sit here, it is sufficient for them to put a sign up saying, we are not responsible to any theft or anything that happens while your vehicle is in this garage.
Exactly,
and that's what needs to change, right?
It does. It does. Again, this isn't about a truck. It's a thing. I'm very upset about losing my truck, my favorite truck I've ever had in my life. But this is about people's safety. So I have two of my best friends are police officers, and I talked to them and I said, you know, what should we do moving forward? Having this happen, he says, first of all, and I think everybody needs to do this immediately, delete the home address out of your navigation system. You know, maybe pull it to the edge of your neighborhood or something like that, but you should not have that in your navigation system. And then on your registration and proof of insurance that you keep in your car, right? Take a Sharpie and black out the address.
And then it's legal to do that. If you get pulled over.
I talked to my two friends that are police officers, and they said, we're going to get your address off your driver's license anyway. And then if you explain to them, saying, yeah, if my vehicle gets stolen, I don't want nobody knowing the address. And they said, you know, no problem there.
Wow. Okay. And maybe when you go on the trip, take the garage door opener with you just in case.
Yeah, if you're going to go on a trip, absolutely take your garage door opener. If it's one that clicks off, or comes off, which mine actually was, so I could have thrown it in a bag.
All right.
And I didn't.
This story is far from over. I can tell you're like a pit bull on this one.
I'm pretty upset about it. Yeah. And it's a safety thing to me.
And the way you've been handled, well, we've had the CHP great, your law enforcement friends great, but
Ace Parking has been terrible. And they have the contract for the whole city.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be reviewed. As badly, as poorly as they treated me in the conversations I had with them, and they just didn't care.
Yeah.
Just didn't care. And then the airport yelling at me and hanging up.
Well, the sign's on the wall. They're not responsible.
Yeah.
That's what's got to change.
That has to change.
All right, Jim Bottrell, thanks a lot for coming in. We're sorry you're going through this, but we appreciate. I know people are going to learn from this. So many people parking there.
And I hope we save some people some hassle.
I'm certain.
The safety aspect.
I'm certain we have. So we're gonna follow up on this, of course, and we're gonna talk real estate too.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in real estate. There's a lot going on right now.
But thanks for coming in and sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jim.